Ileana, welcome. We're having this sneak preview as a preparation, as a little bit a promotion for our upcoming local content development conference, which is this Saturday, November 4th, in Paramaribo, Suriname. You are one of the main speakers, Ileana, and I met you during SEOGS a few months ago. Where you moderated a few workshops where I was one of the speakers, and I really liked hearing you speak about something that's probably something you're very passionate about, and I really like that. So I'm very honored to have you on this session, on this webinar. And it would be nice, I think, to tell the people on this call a little bit about who you are.
Thank you, Marciano. And the honor is mine because this is something, I'm from Venezuela, and some people are making now jokes like, oh, you're now more Surinamese than Venezuelan. And well, I have to say that I've been now in Suriname more often than in my own country. So the pleasure is mine, and I always feel so welcome every time I either talk to Surinamese people or go to Paramaribo. And so it's exciting, and I think what brought me there was the topic about local content and me being involved in oil and gas. And so that's where my, let's say my background is. I started in oil and gas in my home country, Venezuela, when I started right out of college in Mobile. It was Mobile Corporation before the merger. And pretty much my decision to go into oil and gas is because that was a major industry in my own country, and working for PDVSA at that time was something very, career-wise, it was a great place to start. But also thinking back 25 years ago, Venezuela had a lot of opportunities, and everything kind of changed throughout the years because of the situation with the policies and the government. So I think that's kind of really the bottom of my motivation and my passion to local content, because when I was in ExxonMobil, I was actually trained and developed professionally by expats. And then I have the opportunity also to be an expat with ExxonMobil and train and nationalize my position in the countries that I went. So I really understand local content from the different perspective. And so 24 years in oil and gas, and have done a lot of studies in economic development. I have an MBA in international development, and recently I got really, I would say, obsessed with programs that are related to economic development. So I went to Harvard to get more information about areas where how can promote and create economic development in countries that are really needing that. And so a little bit of that's a little bit of my background. In, as I said, my motivation is to work now with governments, with the national oil companies, and pretty much to help countries like my own to grow, to develop, and to diversify the economy. I believe in the oil and gas industry. I've been working on that industry for so many years, but I believe also in the diversification of the economy, not making a country 100% dependent on oil and gas, because then you see what happened with my country. So I think Suriname has a lot of opportunities, a lot of potential, not just because of oil and gas, and that's why this is a good opportunity to talk to local suppliers, to explain it, where are the opportunities and what the industry is about, but also how the industry, the oil and gas industry, create itself linkages to other industries. So I know we have this program, and the local content development conference is mostly of oil and gas. But if you're a supplier that it's not really targeting oil and gas as your industry, I think this program, this course, this event it's for you, because everything is going to revolve around oil and gas and the industries that are linked to oil and gas. So
yeah.
so I think everybody will benefit, small, medium enterprises. I think this is good. And I come from a background in procurement. So all my 24 years in ExxonMobil, 23 probably were in procurement. So I dealt with suppliers. I negotiated with suppliers. I evaluated proposals for requests for quotations. So I know where are the do's and the don'ts. So I definitely feel, and I believe that we can help a lot of Suriname suppliers get prepared. And so this is really a sneak peek, but I don't know. I'll be happy to listen to any request. Oh, we would like to, we had like a specific agenda or some objectives, but if people say, well, we would love to learn and know more about this, so we still have a week, less than a week. So this program is for Suriname suppliers.
Yeah, great. Thank you for that, Ileana. And you have a lot of experience with local content. You have a lot of experience with the procurement side of the business, and for longer than 20 years you were on the other side of the table, as you say it, and now you will be speaking on how people on this side on the table, on the next side on the table, should be looking at opportunities, at how IOCs do their procurement, and also direct and indirect opportunities for suppliers, because that is very important. At Local Content Alliance here in Suriname, we very often tell people that not to just focus on the big companies, on the IOCs, because it will be very hard to do something for them, to be a direct supplier, because there are probably some regulations or processes which they have in place, which will make it difficult for especially smaller suppliers. At Local Content Alliance, so one thing that we definitely want to do is find ways to provide opportunities to smaller businesses as well. Not just the local giants, but also smaller business, because we one of our aims is to broaden the impact on the Surinamese business landscape, society. So I think that your seminar could provide some very valuable insights for these companies. So if you would name, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 things that people can expect hearing from you Saturday.
Well, the first thing I would say, I will talk to you like if we are at the same level. Now I'm a small, medium, women-owned business. So I know your pain, I know your struggles, I know the challenges, but I also understand the excitement, the hope, and all the energy that we want to put, because we are developing, our own business. So I would say also honesty, credibility. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the good and the bad and the ugly, because really what I'm trying to do is help you and help suppliers understand that, okay, you need to be clear and you need to be realistic with your expectations, because we all want, I mean, that doesn't mean that don't dream, dream big, but dream realistic. And that doesn't mean that we need to dream small, but dream accordingly where you are. And I think that's very important. Another thing that I will try to do next Saturday is to be very pragmatic in the sense, like, I like to do like a list of things. So be prepared, come with a notebook, or you can record, because I like to do a list. Okay, 1, 2, 3 things that you will remember, because that has been a tactic or a tool that has helped me along to have key points, and then we address it. And I want to keep it like open, friendly. As I said, we're going to be talking at the same level, so don't see me like I'm a stranger. I want it to be a dialogue, and I want to leave plenty of time for questions. And if we don't have time for questions, I'll be in Paramaribo for a couple of days, and all I want is really to get close to people. And also, working together with you, Marciano, and with Gail in the Local Content Alliance, I think we are really great minds, and great minds work together. So we have a lot of ideas that we have discussed. And I think from the feedback that we get from Saturday, I think we can make more plans and get more allies. And that's what I want to be part of Suriname. I fell in love with the country since my first time there. And one thing that I value, and to me meant the world, is the trust that the people put in me, from the government, from the national company, to the people. And now I call those people my friends, and they know who they are. So and this is really for them. And I can't wait to see the group of women that we work on during CEOGS, the Women Economic Empowerment groups. I mean, these are initiatives that we want to replicate, because we all have that need. One thing that you mentioned is that now I'm working on the other side of the table. And why people say, why do you want to leave the private sector to go to the public sector? Well, I'm still the private sector, so I have my own company, but the client or the target audience that I want to work with is really the public sector, or the small and medium enterprises. And why? Because I saw how does it work internally in the private sector. And a lot of the things where I see there is a gap, or we're not doing this, is in the communication, in the expectations, in the trust. And all that trust, all that alignment comes with communication, that trust, building that relationship. And I think I was going to add a lot of value and make an impact by helping both sides to gain that. And also because it really made me happy to see where the private sector, being the national companies or ministries or small and medium enterprises, asking for help or asking for guidance. And not everybody had the opportunity, or not everybody sees as working for the government or for an NOC attractive. And unfortunately, the public sector cannot attract or retain the best people, because everybody wants to go to the public sector. So, and I hate to see that, because we all, in a way, in our hearts, we want to serve our country, we want our country to succeed and to grow and everything. But we all have to eat. We all have a house, we all have to pay, we all have to get the best education. And sometimes, those things are not on the same page. But in my case, I work for a very successful big private company. I learned a lot. I learned from the best. I had a good education. And so I accomplished a lot of things. And now I felt that, okay, that part of my professional life, I was not really finding that purpose. So I needed to switch, maybe be on the other side and help, support, advise, do consulting services to the other side, the ones that actually really need the help. And even more, if those stakeholders are asking for help, it appreciate and value your advice. So that to me in Suriname gave me that opportunity. As soon as I left the private sector, Suriname, you guys were the first one to open that door and to put that trust in me. So
beautiful. Yes, well, like I mentioned when we started, my first when we first met, I had a very good impression of you as a person. You know, the way you interacted with people, and then also the way you showed what you knew, what you know, and that's very important. You showed and you shared, and that's very important. So just to give a little bit context the audience here. This Saturday, for those of you who don't know yet, this Saturday, the 4th of November, we're organizing the local content development conference, which will be held in Hotel River Breeze from 8:30 in the morning till 5. We'll go till 5. We have a full program, and even after 5, we have a networking event. So it's a full program. We have enough information, enough opportunities to be with us the whole day, and there will be some very interesting seminars. You just heard Ileana talking about her seminars, but we will also have a very interesting panel on female leadership. Within the business landscape, and also, of course, within the local content development in Suriname. We'll also have a roundtable discussions where we will have a few local experts, local business people joining us as well. So not specifically oil and gas experts, but people from the business, because it's not just an oil and gas story. It is about how can Surinamese companies be part of this. We'll have a very interesting seminar by another international speaker coming from Trinidad, Carla, who has been in the business of training, of medical safety training for the oil and gas for about 25 years. And at the end of the day, our Local Content Alliance colleague Ruth Yukuma from First Meridian, and I will be talking about training programs that companies should be looking at to improve their readiness for what is to come. I have on this call, so I did not prepare it, and I hope that I'm not just scaring you off, Raveen. Raveen is on the call as well, Ileana, and Raveen will be the moderator for the roundtable discussion. So, Raveen, I don't know if you can put your camera or your microphone on, and just to yes, thank you, Raveen. I don't know, Ileana, if you know Raveen already, but Raveen, easy to recognize in Suriname, always around with his head. Yes, that's his signature, and Raveen is well, no, you do it, Raveen. You introduce yourself.
All right, great. Thank you, Marciano. Very nice meeting you, Ileana. We will have more discussions. We'll meet more. We'll talk more when we see each other in person next week. But very nice to see you on this call today, and I very much liked your introduction, especially where you talked about the connection between the smaller companies and the larger companies, and how that is so important to really have success. And also liked in your introduction just now about you're talking about balance. There must be balance in setting our expectations, not too high, but also not too low. I really like that nuance you put in there, because I think that's the real essence of getting success in this business. So I'm from B4 Concepts Management and Advisory, a local company here. We have two other businesses, B4 Agro and Food Systems, and B4 Estate. So actually, we're in the consultancy, we're in the agricultural, and we're in the real estate. So we have three companies we run, and now we're doing a pretty huge project from the World Bank in Suriname. World Bank is actually now only active with two projects. I think other people in Suriname and Marciano will know about the Saramacca Canal project. Marciano, that's a rather large project, infrastructural project. That's one major project of the World Bank. And another project is the search project, the search program. Search program is about exactly where you can have that elevation of SMEs towards the next level. Search is an acronym of Suriname's Growth Enterprises. It's a matching grant program. And with that matching grant program, we provide BDS for the small companies, and also, if applicable, matching grants. So they get, you could say, it's popular to say, but they get free consultancy services, and they even get co-investments to realize their sales growth plans. And of course, we're also looking at local content in that matter.
Yeah.
So that for a brief introduction.
Yeah.
And Marciano did surprise me because we didn't have this pre-discussion that I would say something, but he knows that that's no problem for me. I'm looking very much to the session I will moderate, because I think within that interaction with all the specialists on the panel, I think we will really have go to that sharpness, go to that essence of the topic of local content. What is really needed in this country? How all of us can benefit. So I'm looking very forward to that. Thank you, Ileana, and thank you, Marciano.
Thank you. If I may add something, Marciano, before
of course,
I really like this mix of professionals. And what I liked, Reverend, is that you said your business is in agriculture and real estate, and this is really the linkages that I was talking about. And I think this is fascinating. Yeah, we have a background, and I know the industry that's making a lot of noise in the region, because we have Guyana next door, Trinidad and Tobago, and it's about oil and gas. But oil and gas, actually, you have to see it that it's going to bring a lot of revenue to the country, and with the revenue is how we can get a lot of technology, infrastructure. I mean, look all the things that have been done in the river in terms of dredging because of that. So I even have seen how Paramaribo has improved in terms of infrastructure in every city, every country has challenges, but I have seen a difference since the first time that I went there. One thing that I wanted to say related to these linkages to other industries is that you mentioned something, Marciano, that oil and gas has, I'll call it the highest standards of quality, and that's why we need to make sure that suppliers are trained and they develop their capabilities to meet the oil and gas industry. And there's a reason why in oil and gas industry the standards are the highest. It's because safety. It's a high risk, and it's very, very expensive. The investment and the capital expense that it's on, it's a lot. So there's a lot to lose. There's a lot of stake. But safety of the people, the environment, and the operation. So what I like is if we get suppliers to meet or get closer or aim at the standards of a supplier that will serve the oil and gas, then you're going to be good and ready to serve any industry.
Yeah.
And one thing that I really support and endorse, because I see and believe of the results and the quick results of this program is, I think maybe some suppliers are already familiar, is the Blue Wave supplier development platform, because it started, I know the founders, but it started as for oil and gas, but then it actually addressed all suppliers, not necessarily interested or able to work for the oil and gas. But if you aim for them to meet the standards of the oil and gas, they're going to be ready to work for any industry because they're prepared. So this is very powerful, and I think Suriname is going to be able to take advantage of that. This is just an initiative that Staatsolie is promoting, and it's doing together with the sponsorship of some IOCs. But if we accelerate the development of the capabilities of the suppliers, and at the same time the skills of the workforce that these companies will employ, then the rest will come easy.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think that's what we all are looking for with this conference. And I hope this is the first one of many.
Exactly. Yeah. You know,
Marciano, if I may.
Yes, go ahead, Ruin.
Yeah. Just for 1 second, just to underline what Ileana is saying, I can really subscribe to that because I am still, even though I'm already working on that level, I had applied for that state oil Blue Wave program, and I'm in that program right now, and I can underline it's very so true what you're saying. It really gets you that broad scope. So you have like a lot of things in place already. But with that Blue Wave program, I see that we're getting even, a broader scope. So I can really underline what you're saying. Yes, that's true.
That's all we want, is build capabilities, strong capabilities that can go like family traditions, generations to generations, company to company, and people to people.
You know what I also like about you being here, Raveen. Ileana just spoke about the linkages, and you there's this program that you're involved with, the search program, where you are working on helping companies, Surinamese companies. I think a few hundred Surinamese companies to improve their business, to improve the way they're doing business. And, even if it's not about just oil and gas, but just in general, there's something that we need as a country for our businesses to improve to a higher international level, to say so, because it will enable us to, it will open up doors, may open up doors, or create opportunities to supply for oil and gas or other big international companies, but it also enables us to focus on exporting. And another very important thing for me, and this is something that I talk about very much, is the importance of the diversification. Because yes, there will be money in oil and gas, but you're in the agro business, and we, even with all the oil that we will have, we will still need to eat. We will still need food. So that diversification is so important, and people really need to understand that. And I hope, Raveen, that that you, when moderating your session the next Saturday, that you can also bring that out from the panel and the audience to let them know, hey, there is more than just that part. I'm not sure if there's anyone who would like to ask a question. There are some people on the webinar, so if there's anyone who wants to ask a question, anything that you're curious about, this oil and gas thing, and what you're hearing and what you're not hearing. So if you can just put on your mic, open the mic, and just go ahead. Let's see if there is anyone who wants to ask something about either what Ileana is doing, about the conference, or just something that you're always wondering about, something that you would really like to ask about this local content and oil and gas. Let's see, Ileana, if there's anyone who wants to ask a question. If not, then go ahead.
The good thing is that we're recording this as a sneak peek preview. feel free to add your questions at the event, or send us a LinkedIn a private message, and we'll be happy to answer the questions. So I'm going to start with my list of things. If you're going to the event, show up early to show that you're interested. And this is, I think, one of the I would say item that it's important when you're doing business with in oil and gas. Time is of the essence.
Yeah.
And so as a supplier, bring tons of business cards. And if you are not in favor of paper, bring your cards, the one that you can scan the QR code, because it's important to start making the connection. Third, come with an open mind. Have expectations, but come open to receive everything that you will be receiving that day. And when I say come open, is that the people that you will see in the room are the people that you might be doing business with for the first time. And the reason I'm saying is that it's actually like a community. And I'm saying that in my own experience. I will share that there. But don't be shy. Connect with people. Ask questions. I love stupid questions. And people say, well, it's such stupid questions. Well, those are the best. And don't be afraid of asking questions. And I think that was fourth. And fifth, let's continue the conversation. This doesn't stop on Saturday. People know where to find you in the Local Content Alliance, where to find me, and I think we can help each other. Exactly. Ask for help. If you don't ask, you don't get, and that's something that I unfortunately learned too late in my career. But it's true. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Exactly. Yes. Okay, I have one question, Ileana, and then we'll close off this sneak preview because we don't want to, give away too much. And my question is, and I know that I'm asking this question because someone asked me, and the question is, does it make sense for a small company to even think about, being part of this local content and this oil and gas? Does it make sense, or is it just a waste of time and energy for small Surinamese companies? What is your opinion on that?
I think don't underestimate your size. And I like, now more than ever, my logo has a meaning. So a hummingbird or colibri, it's a very small bird. Very, very small. It doesn't weigh, few ounces. And it's tiny. But hummingbirds do amazing things. And I've been learning all the things that they do. And they are like bees, they're also cross-pollinate. But being so tiny, they can fly long distances. They can stand, they can fly backwards and forwards. So it's amazing what something a being so tiny can do.
Their agility.
So what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter how small you are, because your impact can be huge. And so I'm right now a one-person firm, and I have the, I'm dreaming big, but I started dreaming small, and life surprised me. So you get surprises sometimes. And it's not luck or that. You work hard for that. But I think the beauty and the amazing thing of the oil and gas is that it is so big, and the linkages and the opportunities that are around the industry, not just for tier 1 suppliers, which are the major suppliers, but tier 2, tier 3, and so on, are incredible. And I always said, and oh my God, this is a sneak peek of next Saturday. never underestimate your role as a subcontractor.
Yeah.
Because being a subcontractor is the first class ticket you have to become the next direct supplier. It might take some years, or it might take, but that's the best way to learn. It's like when you get an internship. That's the best way to make mistakes, to learn. So you have to try, you have to start small and then get big.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way to start. It's an organic, you have to go through different phases, but the learning process is what it's about. No one gets rich overnight. And if they do, it's, we don't know. But
it's probably to be frowned upon.
Yeah, but if you want to be, a good business, you will learn little by little.
Yeah.
And ask for help. You cannot do things alone. And the big suppliers, they're tier 1 suppliers, or you really imagine that you're a tier 4, tier 3, that's how you learn. And that's where you will ask for service, or your main service or goods provider are going to be the other SME, the other small and medium enterprise, because they're growing and they need you and you need them.
Yeah.
And we can afford each other because we're small. So I think no matter what the industry, oil and gas brings a lot of investment, a lot of people, a lot of experts, a lot of knowledge, and with that knowledge come the transfer of tacit knowledge, which is the one that it's in everybody's embedded in people's brain, and you want that to be shared in your country.
Yes.
And I will talk more about that, but as an expert and being trained by experts, and then after being an expert, it's a gift that a country can get. It's a temporary gift, and you might want to squeeze it as much as you can.
Yeah. Great. Thank you for that. So I think that we've provided a little bit information, a true sneak peek to what will happen on Saturday. Well, specifically with your seminar, a little bit with the others. We've spoken to Rowena as well. As I mentioned, Rowena will be moderating the roundtable discussion. We have some interesting local business people joining. I think there's someone from the university as well. So I'm expecting a well-balanced discussion on Saturday together with the seminars we'll have, and of course in between and after a lot of networking opportunities. So yes, bring your business cards or walk with your QR codes or whatever you use. Even if you have business brochures or whatever, bring it with you, because you don't know if you find your next client among the, I think, about 50 something people that we will have in the room. We'll have some interesting guests. The keynote will be done by a representative from the U.S. Embassy. Someone they will be discussing how the U.S. sees local content development. They will be joining with a few people from the embassy as well. Companies from Trinidad. Ileana will be there. Some large, some small companies. It's a very I've taken a look at the list, and it's an interesting list. So if you're not yet registered, I would say don't miss this. Do register and be part of. I really think this is one of the steps towards something very big. I believe that passionately. I believe that passionately, and I invite all of you to be part of it.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation. I always enjoy being there, and I want to actually share that message in the perception from a person that I'm an outsider. I go there, but you have great people, amazing professionals, and really the vibe, the quality of human beings there are in Suriname I haven't, it's not everywhere. So you have something very special in your country, in your people, and you have to believe it.
Exactly.
Because it is like that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay, so thank you, Ileana. I will see you tomorrow.
Yes.
You will
And
be
it will,
here tomorrow.
yeah, and we hope to get a big crowd on Saturday. Again, this is not just for small suppliers, but even if you're a big supplier, that's where you're going to find also your tier 2, and you can also learn how to prepare, I mean, your own, you know, future employees, suppliers, because the learning is very broad.
Exactly, yes. Okay, so thank you once again, Ileana. Thank you, Raveen, and thank you all of you who are on this call. And if you have any requests, just send us a message on LinkedIn, on Facebook. And I hope to see you all Saturday. Take care.
See you soon.
Bye, everyone.